Chosen one, pause for a moment and listen not with your ears, but with your spirit. This moment is not a coincidence. The Lord declares, I have engraved you on the palms of my hands. Your walls are ever before me. Isaiah 49:16. Heaven has not forgotten you. Your name is written in light, your dwelling sealed in divine memory. Even now, something invisible is moving in your direction, and it carries your name like fire on its wings. You may have felt it lately, an unexplainable stirring, as if your name has been whispered somewhere beyond this world. You are right, but do not let fear rise within you. What is approaching is not darkness, but light dispatched directly from heaven. The same prayers you once spoke in exhaustion, the tears you hid in silence, have become coordinates in the unseen realm. Angels have traced those cries and are now standing at the threshold of your life. The silence that surrounded you was not punishment, it was alignment. Heaven has been adjusting the timing so that what once felt delayed will now arrive in divine order. The command has already gone forth. Deliver the blessing to this address. Your home, your space, your life. It is sacred ground, marked for visitation. What looks ordinary to others is, in truth, a dwelling under divine surveillance. This is not a warning, it is confirmation. You are not forgotten in the crowd. You are registered in eternity's record. When heaven writes your name, no earthly power can erase it. You have been located in the spirit. The angels are not wandering, they are coming directly to your door. As Job once declared, he knows the way that I take. When he has tested me, I will come forth as gold. Job 23:10. Every test you endured was heaven's way of purifying the vessel that would carry this blessing. Now, as you step forward into this divine truth, if this resonates with your spirit, you can write 777 as an act of faith and agreement, and as you do, declare this with boldness. My address is chosen, my home is sealed, my life is ready for heaven's visitation. Don't rush away, stay and receive. Remain until the end, because we will close this message with a powerful prayer, one that will speak directly to your spirit and awaken what heaven has already written about you. What seems like curiosity or intrusion is not what it appears to be. When you heard, someone is asking about your address, heaven was not warning you of danger. It was revealing that your life has become a point of divine attention. Your name has reached the courts of heaven, and whenever heaven speaks your name, the atmosphere around you begins to move. What the world interprets as coincidence is, in truth, a spiritual signal. When your name is mentioned in the unseen realm, angels take position, darkness takes notice, and God says, do not fear, this one belongs to me. Heaven has shifted the meaning. This is not about where you live, but about where blessings are being directed. It is not about someone tracing your location, but about heaven confirming your destination. Every season of waiting, every door that seemed silent, has been preparing your address for divine visitation. Your home, your life, your heart, these are not random places. They have been marked as landing zones for what God is about to release. Just as in the days of Exodus, when the blood on the doorposts marked the homes of those protected by the covenant, so has the Spirit marked yours. The destroyer passed over because heaven recognized the sign. Exodus tel tuwe. You may not see it yet, but angels already know your coordinates. They are stationed around your home, whispering, this place belongs to the light. What was once overlooked is now spotlighted by heaven. You have moved from anonymity to divine recognition. So, do not be shaken when the spiritual atmosphere feels tense. Do not mistake warfare for abandonment. The reason the enemy has been circling your name is that heaven has already assigned value to it. You are being located not by harm, but by holy purpose, as C.S. Lewis wrote in the Screwtape Letters. There is no neutral ground in the universe. Every square inch, every split second is claimed by God and counterclaimed by Satan. This insight reveals that your home, marked by heaven, is a battleground of divine purpose, fiercely claimed by God against any opposing force. Heaven is not asking, where do you live? Heaven is declaring, here is where blessings must land. Your address has become a spiritual altar, and what once felt ordinary is now being transformed into a sacred meeting point between the divine and the earthly. Hold this truth firmly. When God decides to visit, no wall, no lock, no force can stop him. The request for your address was never about roads and maps. It was heaven's announcement that your home has been chosen for miracles. Chosen one, your home is more than walls and bricks. It is the sacred space where heaven has collected your whispers. Every sigh, every midnight tear, every quiet word you spoke into the dark has been absorbed into its atmosphere. What you see as an ordinary dwelling is, in truth, an altar, one that carries the fragrance of your faith. The unseen realm knows your house because heaven marked it long before you did. There were nights when you thought no one was listening, but heaven was counting every breath you took. When you sat in silence, wondering if your prayers had vanished into nothing, they were actually being stored in the corridors of eternity. Each one became a thread of light stretching from your home to the throne of God. That is why when angels descend, they recognize this place not by its street or number, but by the sound of devotion echoing within its walls. Your home has recorded your faith. The walls have heard your surrender, and the floors remember your tears. These are not wasted moments. They are the reason heaven has stationed protection around your gates. What you built through obedience and quiet endurance is now radiating in the spirit. The energy of your prayers has formed a shield that no darkness can penetrate. You might not have realized it, but the spiritual atmosphere of your home has been changing. In the same way incense rises in the temple, your prayers have filled the rooms with divine presence. There is a reason peace returns to you each time you enter it, is the residue of heaven's visitation. You didn't imagine it. The warmth you sometimes feel when you pray, the calm that settles after you cry, those are signs that angels have been walking through your house. Chosen one, your dwelling has become a gate of light. It stands as a witness that faith spoken in secret still moves mountains. This is why heaven chose your address. It is not just where you live, it is where heaven meets earth. And even if no one else recognizes it, the spiritual world does. Your home has become a living testimony that silence does not mean absence. It means heaven is listening, and something divine is preparing to enter. Before the sun rises, heaven is already at work. While the world sleeps, the realm of spirit begins its preparation. Every movement in nature follows an instruction from above. That's why some moments in your life feel strangely heavy. Before a breakthrough, they are the tremors of heaven rearranging things on your behalf. Nothing in your timeline is random. Every delay, every quiet hour, every waiting season has been orchestrated for a divine release that begins before dawn. You are being positioned for something that eyes have not seen. In the invisible realm, orders have already been issued. Angels have been dispatched, carrying scrolls that bear your name, and the seal on those scrolls reads, "Deliver without delay." You are not waiting for heaven. Heaven has been waiting for you to be ready. When faith aligns with timing, divine movement becomes unstoppable. Imagine the stillness of the early morning, when everything is quiet and motionless. That is the hour when heaven speaks. In those moments when you wake up for no reason, when your spirit feels restless, though your body is weary, it is not a coincidence. Heaven is summoning your attention. The world measures time in minutes and hours, but heaven moves through obedience. The command has already gone forth. Visit this house, release what has been promised. There is a sacred rhythm in divine timing. Just as the tide rises without noise, heaven's interventions arrive without fanfare. The miracle you are about to witness will not announce itself. With thunder it will unfold gently, yet carry the weight of eternity. The same God who moved the Red Sea without warning, who caused Joseph's prison door to open in a single morning, is still writing such moments now. The difference is that this time, the story is yours. Do not rush what heaven is forming. What comes before dawn determines what shines after sunrise. Every unseen adjustment, every invisible battle fought on your behalf, is preparing the ground for blessing to land securely. The night is not your enemy, it is your preparation room. So stay awake in spirit. Keep your heart sensitive to the quiet movements around you. The reason your spirit feels alert, even when you don't understand why, is that heaven is near. Before the sun touches the horizon, something will have already shifted in your favor. The unseen has been set in motion, and by the time light breaks, what you prayed for in tears will stand before you as proof that heaven never sleeps. There are moments when heaven begins to reveal itself quietly, long before the miracle arrives. The air in your home starts to shift, as if something invisible has entered and changed the atmosphere. You may not see it, but your spirit knows it. This is the first sign a peace unlike anything you felt before begins to cover your space. It is not the silence of emptiness, but the calm of divine presence. The worries that once circled your mind lose their power, and a strange stillness fills the room. That peace is not from this world. It's heaven preparing your environment for visitation. The second sign comes in the form of warmth. A subtle light resting on your shoulders, a gentle heat wrapping around your chest. It is not imagined. It is the touch of an angel, the signal that the spiritual realm has drawn close. The same atmosphere that once felt heavy begins to glow, as if invisible hands are lifting the burdens you didn't know you were still carrying. The air feels alive, and even without words, you sense that you are not alone. Then, something begins to change within you. Hope rises again, breaking the long cycle of fear and anxiety. You start to expect good things, not because circumstances have changed, but because your spirit knows something is approaching. Thoughts that once drowned in doubt now breathe again. You wake up lighter, your prayers flow more easily, and gratitude appears for no reason. That hope is not a mood. It is heaven's announcement that the waiting is almost over. These signs are not coincidences. They are confirmations that the realm of light is moving closer. The peace, the warmth, and the rising hope, each one is a message written in the language of the Spirit, saying, "Heaven has located you." When you begin to feel them, don't dismiss them as emotion. Stand still, listen, recognize what is happening around you. For when heaven prepares to deliver a miracle, the first thing it does is change the atmosphere. This is not imagination, it is alignment. The shift you sense is proof that the promise is near. And when you feel that peace settle deep inside, know this. It is heaven whispering, "We are on the way." There comes a moment when what you have prayed for no longer lingers in the unseen. It begins to move, to breathe, to take form, and before you realize it, it stands at your door. This is the hour when heaven crosses the threshold of your life. You may not hear a knock, you may not see a bright flash, but you will feel the shift deep within you. The air will feel lighter, time will slow, and your spirit will whisper, "Something has arrived." When heaven enters, the atmosphere obeys. The heaviness that once filled your home begins to lift. The same rooms that held your silence will now echo with peace. Where confusion once lived, clarity takes its place. Even your thoughts feel different, as if a light has been turned on in a place that had long been dark. You might find yourself smiling for no reason, or waking up with strength you didn't have before. That is not a coincidence. It is a visitation. When a divine blessing enters, it does not ask for permission, it simply fills what belongs to it. It settles like sunlight over a frozen field, melting what the cold had claimed. It moves through every corner, bringing balance, healing, and restoration. In the same way, dawn does not ask if it can rise. Heaven does not seek approval to bless you. It simply fulfills what was written. You might not see angels standing in your hallway, but you will feel the order they bring. You'll notice arguments fading, restless nights turning quiet, and the energy of your home becoming lighter. Even the walls seem to breathe differently because they now host a divine presence. This is what it means for heaven to step inside what was once an ordinary space, becomes holy ground. And as peace settles, joy follows. It will not arrive with noise, but with certainty. You will realize that what once felt distant has come close, that the miracle you longed for has found your address. When that happens, do not question it, receive it. Let gratitude flow through you like a river, because every miracle that crosses your doorstep begins with one thing: faith that refuses to leave the door closed. So let your spirit stay open, your heart awake, your home ready. For when heaven decides to visit, nothing remains the same again. When heaven settles inside your life, it does not come quietly to one room. It moves through every dimension of your being. The blessing that crosses your threshold is not partial, it is complete. It touches the body, the relationships, the provision, and the heart. What begins as a spiritual shift becomes visible in every corner of your world. The first realm heaven restores is your body. The same body that carried fatigue, anxiety, and heaviness begins to respond to divine peace. It's as if a hidden current of energy awakens inside you. You rest better, breathe deeper, and feel lighter. This is not mere recovery, it is renewal. When heaven dwells where you live, the cells of your body align with divine order. Pain that once whispered constantly begins to quiet. You sense strength rising, not from effort but from presence. The second realm is your relationships. Where there was distance, warmth returns. Conversations that used to end in misunderstanding now flow with grace. Those who were never meant to stay fade away without drama, while those divinely connected to your destiny begin to reappear. Some arrive with apologies, others with opportunities, but all come carrying the echo of heaven's timing. The walls that once divided begin to crumble because peace is a language stronger than pride. The third realm heaven moves in is your provision. Finances, opportunities, and open doors begin to align in ways you couldn't engineer. What was once stagnant starts to flow. Emails arrive, connections are made, and ideas awaken. You'll notice small signs first: a cancelled bill, an unexpected favor, a new opportunity. Then it multiplies. The blessing doesn't just fill your hands, it expands your territory. It reminds you that lack was never permanent. It was the stage where faith proved its worth. The final realm is your heart. The ache that used to sit quietly beneath the surface begins to fade. Where loneliness once lingered, joy takes residence. Where doubt used to whisper, peace now sings. You stop asking, when will it happen? And start saying, it's already happening. This is the most powerful evidence of heaven's arrival joy that cannot be explained, only experienced. Each of these realms is connected, like strings of light woven through your soul. When one begins to heal, the others follow. That is why when you sense peace in your home, it is not just about atmosphere, it is heaven touching the blueprint of your existence. Do not underestimate these changes. They are not random improvements, they are restorations of order. Heaven is not visiting just to comfort you, it is re-establishing what always belonged to you. When the divine settles in, nothing broken stays that way, and soon, every part of your life will declare the same truth. Heaven didn't just visit, heaven stayed. 1. When heaven completes its work within you, the change cannot remain hidden. The transformation that once began in silence will start to speak louder than words. Your life becomes the evidence that God still moves, still restores, still fulfills promises. What began as a quiet visitation becomes a public declaration of divine faithfulness. Neighbors, friends, even those who doubted you, will begin to notice. They may not understand the process, but they will feel the difference. The peace that now fills your home will radiate outward. People will enter your space and pause, unable to explain the sense of calm they feel. Some will ask, what changed? Others will simply know that something sacred dwells here. That is what happens when heaven turns your address into an altar. Your story becomes a sermon without words. The trials you once thought would destroy you become chapters of victory that strengthen others. When people see your health restored, they will believe healing is possible. When they see your relationships reconciled, they will believe forgiveness is real. When they see your finances revived, they will believe provision is still flowing. When they see your joy return, they will remember that God has not abandoned them either. Your transformation becomes contagious hope. Heaven never blesses one person only for their sake. It is blessed to multiply. The miracle that landed at your doorstep was not designed to stop there. It was meant to overflow. Those who come near you will taste the residue of grace that now fills your space. Even casual conversations will carry encouragement. Your presence will begin to shift atmospheres, because where you go, heaven now travels with you. Understand this. Your home is not just a place to live anymore, it is a beacon. It shines as proof that endurance was not in vain, that faith does not disappoint. Every wall that once echoed with tears now reflects light. Every memory of sorrow is rewritten by peace. When others pass by, they won't see what you lost, they'll see what heaven rebuilt. The world measures success by what can be seen, but heaven measures testimony by transformation. And now, your transformation is speaking. You have become a signal in the dark, a reminder that divine promises still find their way home. When people witness your life, they will understand that this is not luck, not a coincidence, but divine coordination. Heaven visited, heaven restored, and through you, heaven is calling others to believe again. The power of heaven never stops at one miracle. What has entered your home was not meant to stay still, it was meant to grow, to spread, to overflow. When the blessing of God takes root in your life, it begins to multiply like living light. Every act of gratitude, every word of encouragement, every gesture of kindness you release becomes a seed planted back into the same soil that once bore your pain. And just as the earth knows how to return harvest to the sower, heaven knows how to send blessings back to the giver. You may not realize it yet, but the miracle you received was not only for you, it was the starting point of a greater movement. Every time you share hope with someone who is losing theirs, the river of blessing inside you deepens. When you comfort another heart, heaven replenishes yours. When you give freely out of what God gave you, He multiplies it until it surpasses your imagination. This is the divine economy. Overflow does not empty you, it refills you. Think of your home as a distribution center of heaven. What arrives there does not end there. Peace flows out like fragrance. Encouragement radiates from your words. Faith becomes a contagious flame that lights others. And in that process, the supply never runs dry. The more you give, the more the heavens pour back in. This is the rhythm of abundance God gives to those who allow blessings to flow through, not just to them. As your testimony reaches others, your life becomes the channel through which heaven touches the earth. The miracle you carry multiplies in the lives it touches. A healed heart inspires another to believe again. A restored home strengthens a family you may never meet. A moment of generosity births a chain of provision you will only understand in eternity. You are not just a receiver, you are a transmitter of divine frequency. So let your life remain open, let your story speak, let your home stay generous with the presence that now fills it. For every time you release a part of what heaven gave you, a greater measure returns. The blessing you share becomes the soil for new miracles. The joy you spread becomes the echo that calls heaven closer again. And soon, you will see that what began as one miracle has become a river flowing, multiplying, unstoppable, because you allowed heaven not only to visit your address, but to work through it. Close your eyes for a moment and breathe. Let the noise of the world fade until only your heartbeat remains. This is the sound heaven has been listening to all along. Everything you have heard, every sign, every promise has led to this moment. You stand at the threshold of completion, where faith becomes reality and gratitude becomes power. Now, let us pray. Father in heaven, I thank you for remembering my name, for marking my home as holy ground. You have watched over my nights, counted my tears, and transformed my silence into strength. Tonight, I receive the fullness of what you have prepared. I no longer question when it will come. I know it is already here. I open every door, every room, every corner of my life to your presence. Let this house echo with laughter again. Let the air be filled with peace again. Let every wall reflect the light of your glory. I surrender my plans and my fears to you. Every battle that I fought in secret, every pain that once felt invisible, I place them now in your hands. I declare that my dwelling is under divine management. No darkness will cross this threshold, no curse will take root here. Only your goodness, only your favor, only your miracles are welcome. Bless my body with renewed strength. Restore my mind with clarity. Heal my heart with joy that does not fade. Let provision flow where lack once stood, and harmony dwell where tension once lived. Turn this home into a sanctuary of love, a lighthouse of hope for everyone who enters. And Father, I ask for the courage to become a vessel of overflow. What you give to me, I will share. What you pour into me, I will pour into others. Let my story awaken faith in those who have forgotten how to believe. Let my words lift those who feel unseen. Let my testimony remind them that heaven still finds its way to human doors. Today, I declare, my home is blessed, my heart is open, my future is protected, my miracle is alive. Every step I take from this moment forward will echo with the footsteps of angels. Every sunrise will remind me that you are still writing my story. In the authority of heaven and the peace of Christ, I seal this prayer with faith. I call this dwelling a gate of miracles, a meeting place between earth and eternity. And I say, with confidence and gratitude, heaven has found my address, and it will never leave. Amen. Now remain still for a moment longer. Feel the weight of peace settle inside you. The message is complete, but the miracle is just beginning.